I came here for love. I'm over a specific type of person, but we'll get into it as it goes. And I took down my notes for this video because I knew to take down notes. Hold on. And then one of my friends, I didn't actually know to take down notes. My friend actually recommended me to take notes. So, yeah. But we're about to get into it. So, all these things being said, I had to process some of these things. Some of these things I'm still trying to process. So, my opinions might change a little bit, but it's all right. Should I put in like a little flower? Hold on, I'll be back. We'll get into it. Because a certain person made me very just over them. We should have got them out the villa a long time ago, and I'll get into it later. But just to put a disclaimer in here, I do want to say I'm not hating on none of these people. I do not know these people's actual character. I don't know these people at the end of the day. This is a show. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to reality, show is going to point out everything about you. So let's get into that. I'm not hating on anyone, just critiquing, just giving my review and my thoughts and my opinions. And if you get mad, please just leave. But anywho, it says Love Island 7, episode 13 notes. And the first part we're going to get into is Charlie leaving. And this is basically the first part of the episode. So I basically wrote down Ace pressing Austin about choosing Taylor. Austin felt like Huda and Jemiah had a good connection. Nic blaming Austin and how his decision affected Charlie going home. Nic clocking Jemiah, saying why Huda is giving hickeys on him to the point where Jemiah can't even talk to other women. And Huda thinking America either hates her or doesn't think she's good enough for Jemiah. So let's unpack most of them. My notes are going to be right there on the side. But I don't know why Austin chose Taylor out of all people. Like, honestly, like, I think he should have really chosen Huda. But again, I have to look into his perspective of a Love Islander, which is him, and maybe he didn't know. And he said that. He said he just thought Huda and Jemiah thought had a good connection, which again, I don't know how it is on the inside for them, but on the outside, we can see everything. On the inside, they can't see everything. They can't even see some of the conversations. But even then, everybody was kind of thinking this, but Austin. But nobody really tells Austin anything. He's just there. So I don't really blame Austin for, like, not choosing Huda and picking Taylor. But it's, like, Taylor, though. Like, I don't know. But honestly, like, I wouldn't have cared if Taylor had gone home. I would have cared just a little bit, but like not a lot. But that's just me personally. And I just feel like Ace just wants everybody on his side. Again, ringleader. So, but I don't really blame Ace for trying to question him and being like, why did you pick Taylor out of all people? And then Nic blaming Austin for the decision of picking Taylor. I mean, I don't think it would have really even mattered anyway. I think it would have mattered, but it would have been like a tie at that point because it was like 3-on-3. It was like 3 for Huda, and then it was 3 for freaking Charlie. So I don't really. If Austin had picked Huda, it would have been that, and I don't know what they would have done if it was a tie. So I don't know. I don't know. Producer said something. But I don't know if producer said something. I don't think they said anything. I can't blame everything on producers, y'all. We can't blame everything on producers. They have a lot of editing, but it's what people say. So yeah. And Nic, I respect Nic a lot for clocking Jeremiah. Again, on the whole Huda thing, it's like Jeremiah and Ace exchange words, heated argument. Jeremiah's like, I don't give a fuck what you I don't give a fuck what you think, bro. Like, okay. Like, okay, Jeremiah's giving like
you're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
Jeremiah's giving that a whole lot here. Like, he's giving like he trying to stand on business for Big Huda, but did not stand on business. He thought he was clocking the business, but he wasn't clocking the tea, child. He was not doing that. Oh my gosh, the misuse of AAV kills me. I do that so much, like fucking unironically. I just do that ironically. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so anyways, the hickeys. I mean, Jeremiah, your mask, it's fading. Put the mask on. No, it's fading. The mask is going to slip. We see what you are. And we saw a whole lot this episode. We really, I feel like this episode was where we saw Jeremiah's mask fall. We saw it fall. We know what you are, Jeremiah. We've been new. We've been peeped, but everybody else is kind of like looking at it, and it's giving more of a reason of why Ace thinks that the whole relationship is bullshit. Like, Jeremiah's fucking stupid. He doesn't know how to play the game right at all. At least for Aaron last season, we kind of knew. Very manipulative fuck, by the way, but like, at least for Aaron, we knew last season, like, or no, sorry, we didn't know that Aaron was like a manipulated piece of shit until Casa, but Jeremiah, child, this is only the second week. This is very early, and you already fucking up. You letting your ass slip, and whatever. And the last point of the whole first part of the episode is Huda thinking America hates her or doesn't think she's good enough for Jeremiah, and I'm gonna try to, be very sensitive upon this topic because she was very emotional, but I cannot let tears affect how I'm going to say things. So I will say it straight up. I do not hate Huda. I dislike her, but I do not hate Huda. I do not know her as a person. She only portrays what we see on TV, so I don't know how she actually is in person, but the signs of what she's giving, we try to vote her off, y'all, because I see many people online saying like, oh, you guys are just creating a whole hate train for Huda, you guys fucking absolutely despise Huda, but like, I don't hate her. I don't think anybody hate. I think there are a bit of people who do hate her and go a little bit too far on the internet, like per usual what the internet does, but I also think Huda is showing who she is. You know what I'm saying? She's shown who she is by these past 2 weeks. So people on Twitter and on the internet are trying to blame production and saying production is making her look like a villain, and this is a whole Leah type of situation. But the difference is Leah, they tried to make Leah make the villain, but it didn't look like that. They absolutely failed at it. With Huda, it's different because this is a grown woman at the end of the day. Like, she has her own actions, she has her own mind, and whatever comes out her mouth, it comes out her mouth, no matter what it is. She's making herself look like the villain. I don't know why people are trying to paint this narrative that production is trying to paint her like that when all she has done is shown who she truly is as a person. So I can't get down with people saying, oh, production is doing this, production. You cannot blame everything on production, y'all. She is the one saying these things out of her mouth. So if she's showing manipulative tendencies, yeah, they're gonna show that. It's drama. It's quote unquote good TV for the viewers like us. So people saying that, I can't get down with it, and I don't hate Huda. I think she's just a person who needs help and therapy, and this is why, at this point of time, last episode, of why we voted for her or tried to get her kicked off, because at this point, it's just detrimenting to her fucking mental health at this point. It's like, but it's like, it's not more that we can do. I mean, yeah, I don't know at this point. I mean, again, I don't hate her. I just think she needs a lot of fucking help, and she's over here saying we probably don't think she's good enough for Jeremiah. That's not the case at all, sweetie. But she doesn't know that because she's an islander. She's not outside the villa, so yeah, whatever. Um, yeah, but that's how I feel about who is saying that. But we digress. We digress. More into that a little later. But okay, so this is the second part, and this is where this is after Charlie is leaving. This is the second part of the episode, and basically Um, this is so funny. Olandria saying America tour. What did they say? What did she say? Did I say? I wrote down on my thing. I said America tour America new asshole. I meant to say America tour Love Island or the Villa. Oh yeah, America tour Villa a new asshole. Olandria, quoted by Olandria. She is absolutely hilarious. But we did so. Period. Austin and Jeremiah, and then we're going on to the Austin and Jeremiah one-on-one chat, and immediately off the bat, Austin is calling Nic a follower, and Ace is the ringleader. Austin calls Ace emotional. Austin says fuck all of them, and this is potentially starting kind of like a new duo kind of bond between Austin and Jeremiah. And here's my thoughts on this. I completely agree. I kind of agree with Austin, but at the same, no, I kind of agree with Austin because I do feel like Taylor, Nick, basically all of them, including Charlie, was kind of following after Ace, like he was the ringleader. But I mean, he does have some points to make, but he's not really the best spokesperson for it per se because of how he's moving in the villa. So yeah, he has like a red pill type of mindset, and I don't fuck with it. Like I remember one clip of him saying that he should just like he was telling the other boys that they should just like wait and lead on the other girls basically, and I don't fuck with that whatsoever. So I don't really fuck with Ace. But Austin calling him out, period. T, that was T for me. Calling Nick a follower. He might be just a little bit, but I do think Nick that genuinely does have feelings about Jeremiah and Huda being a very just horrible couple. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Um, and we're moving on to the Huda and Ace chat. And this is what I wrote for this scene. It says Ace feels like there's a lot of love bombing between Jeremiah and Huda, which I agree. I feel like this whole conversation was Ace trying to, and this is what I can say about Ace. Like, I respect him on some regards because he'll be the one to tell other people how they are or just speaks his mind, which I can respect. I can respect anybody who speaks their mind in such a passionate but like non-confrontational way. Like it's confrontational, of course, because they're confronting each other about this. But when I think of like non-confrontational, I'm saying like very mature, very wise, very open to how she is feeling. Because Ace didn't really, you know what I'm saying? Ace was very mature with the way he was moving with Huda. Because he could have been really weird, or could have just been like, not even weird. He could have been. I don't know how that conversation would have gone if Ace wasn't Ace, but I will say though, Ace was doing a good job with Huda's feelings, and Ace was being real with Huda, saying it's a red flag for her to be so closed off and attached to Jeremiah from day one. And Huda says she's a mother to Ace. Ace don't give a fuck, low key. It looked like, but I don't know anymore. I don't know how to take that. So yeah, but Ace essentially sympathizes with her because he also has a single mother and says it's not easy to date. And Huda also says it's not easy to date. Because it's not. I know, like, I just know as a single mom, it's definitely not easy to date. But that's the thing about Huda is that I don't think if you're a single mother, you should be going on Love Island. And that's no shade to her, but it's to any single mom out there who wants to go to Love Island. Why would you go on Love Island? Like, that's not a place where you go to find love. Because, again, you don't know these people's intentions. Even in the real world, you don't know people's intentions and how they are as a person. So I can't necessarily say, like, she should know better, but she should know better, low key, to go on Love Island out of all places. Because Love Island is very different from the real world. You are not being recorded 24/7 out the day like you are in Love Island. And then on top of that, you get a prize at the end. You don't know these people's intentions when they're trying to go to Love Island. So me as a mother, I wouldn't go. And then her first problem was not telling Jeremiah about the kid and essentially looking like she's insecure about telling him about it. It's like, come on. And then on top of that, you're so attached. And then you're and then Huda is not talking to other people in the villa, so of course like it's not gonna work out for her because she's not giving herself the chance to talk to other people. So it's like it's a disaster. It's a fucking disaster, honestly. But yeah. But Ace sympathizes with her, understands that it's not easy to date as a single mother, but also helps her, and they make up. That's the end of it with their whole confrontation. Love Ace for that. Thank you, Ace, for giving her real advice because somebody needed to tell her that, like, straight up. Olandria tried to tell her a little bit, but again, Huda was in love with Jeremiah, so whatever. Okay, now we're going on to Ace in Taylor chat. This is just a little bit, but Taylor says he can see a long-term relationship with Olandria, and Taylor feels hurt, but is taking it on the chin. And I mean, I don't really feel a way about this conversation. It's just Ace trying to help people again and trying to help Taylor, and basically saying, "Yo, dude, you need to try the fuck harder," because Taylor is. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, Taylor's not really giving anything with Alondria. Jalen's giving a little bit more, but like again, Jalen just got here. He's already kind of rubbing me the wrong way, but I'll get into that later. But with Taylor, it's just like I don't really know what to say about. I don't know what to say about Taylor. It's just like he's there. He's cool. He's funny. He's bendable. He's lanky, but it's not like much for me to say about him. I don't know. And then on top of that, when Ace was like, "You should do a little bit more," Taylor was like, "Oh, like, what else? Like, what more can I do?" He, the thing is about Taylor, he doesn't even like tell Alondra how beautiful she is. Maybe it is production just not like giving them enough scenes for us to see that. But even Alondra kind of hinted at that, and how Jalen tells her that she's beautiful, but Taylor doesn't really do that. So I don't know what to say about that. Like even Nic, Olandria. Oh my gosh, my favorite. But even Nic tells Olandria how beautiful she is. Like the way Nic was talking in that confessional last episode, it made it seem like that man in a couple with her. Like, how is Nic showing more love to your girl than you are to your own girl? That don't make sense. Taylor, you gotta go, baby. I don't know. You give something, cause we already didn't. Child, we already tried to get you out, but you not giving nothing. But anywho, now we're going on to the Olandria and Jalen chat, and I think this was at the date. Hold on. Yeah, this was at the date. Oh fuck, we're still at the first part, which is Charlie leaving. Okay, this is not even the freaking date yet. Okay, so Alondra says she needed this, referring to the coupling up with Jalen since she wants to still test out a connection with him, and Alondra loves countrymen. Don't really have anything to say to this, so we're gonna move on. We're getting inside the actual little place or whatever, the house, whatever the fuck you want to call it, where they sleep or whatever, and Huda is like breaking down in tears. Jeremiah hasn't checked on her since the recoupling. Huda calls Jeremiah a bitch and a liar, not to his face, but in the shower very loudly. And Jeremiah exchanges words to Huda saying he didn't lie to her, and Huda just walks past him with like no words. And Jeremiah says he should have checked up on Huda, but he froze. And this is how I feel about it. I'm not really surprised that Jeremiah didn't check on Huda. Of course he didn't. He's in for the I just think he's just over Huda at this point and probably just wants to win the game. I'm not I don't know what to really like say about it anymore. It's like, what can you say? It's like, what can you say at this point? Like, Jeremiah's mask is like unfolding a lot, but I also think though I'm not gonna like try to be like all I'm not gonna like not hold him accountable just because, oh, we knew that he was gonna do this. I'm not really surprised. Like, trying to like excuse it. No, I'm not gonna excuse it. I don't know why Jeremiah didn't check up on her after, but we already knew why. But it's like I do think it's like pretty fucked up for him not to check up on Huda crying and breaking down. Like she was crying up and down the way, and again, like the whole victim shit with Jeremiah, he's acting like he's the one getting voted out, but like he froze apparently. That's why I said Jeremiah has like a fucking mentality of a 11-year-old boy, little man, but whatever. Um, yeah, I don't really blame Huda for this. Not necessarily. This is one of the times where I can say that Huda's not really in the wrong here. But I digress because people on Twitter are like on Jeremiah's side, which, hey, I'm not on either side. I'm just saying. But anywho, and now we're going on to new day after recoupling. Okay, so this is a new day. Everybody wakes up, but in the middle of the process, actually, the middle of sleeping, the new couples get a text, and it's a triple date. And when they're getting ready, Hannah says there'll be a Hurricane Huda while they're gone, and Alondra says she hopes to have a good time. Jeremiah still feels a way about Huda calling him a bitch. Huda wakes up also and finds out that the bombshells went on a date, and she is very emotional right now. She's saying, I hate this, and she also wakes up Taylor. I'm just giving a little recap there. And now we're going on to the ocean date. Or the beach date, sorry, I said ocean date on this. So we're starting off with, I think, Jalen and Olandria. Jalen and Olandria's chat was cool. I mean, Jalen massages Olandria's back, and they talk about both being raised by single mothers and how it can be hard. And Olandria then massages Jalen's back, and that's it about their date. I'm not really feeling Jalen, like I said, because then at the end, Jalen tries to give another kiss, basically a peck kiss on Olandria. I'm fucking tired of Jalen and his ways of getting a kiss every single time. It was like the first time it was like, okay, cool. He already asked for a kiss. Cool. Second time he was like, oh well, I didn't really want to pick. I really want to pick you because I really want to pick you because you were already getting picked by so much men. So I didn't really want to make you feel like you had to kiss me. But like, can you kiss me right here, baby? Can I get a kiss? Boy, if you don't get the fuck from out my face, seriously, stop asking Alondria for a fucking kiss, because it makes it seem like he's so fucking lustful, and this is his third time trying to get a kiss. Like, I would respect it if Alondria was like down for it, but even the second time, Alondria looked like she didn't even want to give the man a kiss. Child, I hate this for Alondria. I'm really only sticking by the couple anyway because I want Alondria to stay. I want her to go to the finals. Sorry, I love Alondria. She's like my bestie at this point. I have like a little bit of a parasocial relationship with fucking Olandria. I don't care. Like, she's beautiful. She's amazing. She's tea. She's a very intellectual type of person, and she is me. I love her. I love her mentality. I love the way she talks, the way she speaks. She's very smart, very level-headed. I love her down. But I need a man for Alondria. I need a man. Not a little boy. Not a bendable little boy. Not a big country guy who always fucking flexes that he's country. I need a man for Olandria. But whatever. So yeah, that's their whole date. Jalen, you pissing me off. You give it lustful. Whatever. So now we're going on to. Sorry. By the way, I meant to say this, but Olandria and Jalen were not the first date. It was actually Pepe and Hannah. But I really don't care too much about Pepe and Hannah. No offense. Not really my cup of tea. But their date was okay. They cool. Anyways, on to Iris and Jeremiah. Their date, it was cool, and basically, this is what I wrote. This is the main key points. So when talking about their experiences and dating, Iris says in LA, because she lives in Los Angeles, that people in LA feel like you go on a couple of dates with them and they automatically feel like you guys are married. And this nigga Jeremiah says he felt like that recently. Okay. T. T. Wow. T. Wow. Okay. Mask slipping. We knew this though. We knew this. You acted like you were married too, by the way, Jeremiah. I don't know if you know, but it takes two to tango, not just one. Anyways, Jeremiah feels like he's coming back out of his shell, and Jeremiah wants to get to know Iris more, and Iris hugs and holds hands with Jeremiah hugs and holds hands with Iris. Yeah. And that happens. End of that story. They cool. Don't really have nothing much to say about the date, but that one thing just was like, okay, Jeremiah, like whatever. Now we're going into a new segment saying back at the villa. So this is back at the villa. And Ace has a surprise for Shelly, ping pong and pancakes. Very nice of Ace. Ace feels like Taylor has no sense of urgency, needs Taylor to step up more, and Taylor realizes he needs to do more for Olandria, which again, yeah, I agree. Like Taylor, you need to do something or you're out. 'Cause Jalen is doing a little bit more, even though he just got here. And I know, like, they technically gave him the opportunity. He didn't really set that up, but still, like, Taylor, you need to do more. Because I just really don't fuck with how Taylor, like, after Jalen had walked in, like, the first time he walked in as a bombshell and was, like, keeping his eye on Alondra, like, Taylor was just, like, like, not excited, but, like, was just holding on to Alondria even more. It's like, why are you giving like her affection now that you see that she's probably gonna go for somebody else? It's like, and people already been speculating Taylor has been giving scammer since day one with Olandria. So Taylor, baby, you gotta go. I don't know, somebody gotta go. Like the scammer allegations, you're not beating them a bit, bitch. You're not, baby, you're not beating them. But anyhow, on to Huda. Huda asks herself, is Jeremiah love bombing her? Huda questions Jeremiah's manhood and calls Jeremiah a bitch. Amaya says that Jeremiah is basically mad that the recoupling was about him and making it about him instead of both him and Huda, essentially just saying Jeremiah is just didn't check up on Huda at all. And Huda says it would take a miracle for Jemima to win her back, and I said keeping this in mind because I have to keep this in mind because I don't know how. In this episode, she stood on business. I don't know about the other episodes. I don't even know if she's gonna make it to the other episode, but whatever. Again, I with Huda, like I said, I feel like yes, Jeremiah was love bombing her, but I also feel like Huda, you should have knew the signs right then and there. And then on top of that, like you were with this man for 3 days. You were acting like y'all were married. Like, Joe, like what? Anyways, and then Austin pulls Chelly for a chat, and Austin doesn't want there to be a triangle, and Shelly wants Austin to be himself and feel natural. And Austin says in the confessional he kind of doesn't want to do anything with Shelly no more because of the triangle he's in, but the more he talks to her, the more he wants to try. I mean, like, I feel like Austin doesn't really give anything outside of like the whole Trumpy stuff. I mean, I don't really care for Austin as much as I do for the other Islanders. I don't know really what to say about Austin. I mean, he it seems like he really does like Shelly. That's one thing I can give to him. He really loves Shelly down, but it's just not really enough. It's not enough for me. I don't know. I mean, I don't really like Ace for Shelly either, but the Ace is trying to make her feel like good. So Austin, step up your cookie, babes. Step up your cookie. Anyways, the Nic and Huda chat. Nic says he's disappointed in how people are moving around the villa. He says people, probably assuming Jeremiah and Huda, but just says people. Huda felt blindsided, and Nic says he's intimidated by Huda, which I kind of peeped. You know, I noticed that he said it, but when he said it, I had talked to my friends about it, and it's been two signs of this where I feel like a lot of people. It's been actually multiple signs of this where I feel like a lot of people are very much scared of Huda. So when Nic says he's intimidated by Huda, he wasn't joking. He was being dead ass. I don't know. I don't know. And like, you guys are seeing what the production is showing. You know what I'm saying? So imagine the stuff that the Islanders see, but we don't see. So if Nic is saying he's intimidated by Huda, then I don't know. I don't know what Huda does. Like, I don't know. Like, that, I don't know. Because I feel like that gives such scary type of vibes with Huda. And I don't want to call her scary. I don't want to call her scary, but it's giving that with the multiple instances where people aren't straight up with Huda or don't even want to really talk with Huda because of how emotional she is, and she has a kind of like destructive personality. So if anything contradicts to what she's believing, she will most likely go off on your ass. I don't know, and she gives that. She gives that. So I don't know about her. If Nic is saying that, then I don't know. I mean, they were the same. I mean, some of the men were the same people saying. Even Austin was saying that he was intimidated by fucking Amaya. But like, Amaya doesn't give scary. She just gives like stand on business vibes. But what the fuck ever. But with Huda, she it's different because she's giving multiple signs of this. Even with Pepe, we'll get into that later. But anyways, Chelly and Ace chat. Ace tickles Chelly, asks her where she's ticklish at. Chelly says, I don't think I could trust you. Ace says, I wouldn't trust me either. And Ace sneaks a little cheek kiss on Chelly. And cute, vibey. Don't really like him though. Chelly needs a man, not a little kid. But it's not giving anything. Sorry, it's not giving a motherfucking thing, and I won't support it. That's the propaganda that I'm not falling for. As much as I think it's cute, very cute, not falling for that propaganda, baby. I'm just not. I don't care. Anyways, the recoupling dates are back. This where shit gets real. This where shit get a little like, ooh, this is a bit tea for me. This is kind of tea. This is kind of tea. And oh gosh. So as soon as the dates come back, Huda just she don't give a fuck. She says that she doesn't give a fuck, and she lays there with her sunglasses. She lays there with her sunglasses, and she's just there. I don't know if she's waiting for Jemiah to come up to her. She just there. She don't give a fuck. So, and Huda doesn't greet any of them. Sits in her seat. Jemiah still to this day does not pull Huda in for a chat. And new couples are happy with their dates when talking to the other Islanders. That's all I can say about that. And this is where things get to going. So in this segment, Huda then this is the Huda crash out segment. Huda is already with the girls and stuff when they're talking about the dates. Olandria and, well, no, Iris is up there with Pepe and fucking Jalen. So she's not down there because God knows she's down there. Taylor, not Taylor. Olandria is down there and she's talking about her dates. And afterwards, Huda is just going off. Like, she's just like, she doesn't go off, sorry. She doesn't go off yet. She's just like, okay. So Huda then has to use the bathroom. She's trying to listen in on the boys. So when listening to the boys, or she's not listening then, but the conversation, the scene goes to the boys talking. And Jeremiah says Huda is cooked, not going to lie. And Nic questions Jeremiah's manhood and says he should have been there for Huda and he lost some respect for Jeremiah. Jeremiah doesn't realize this and is like, wait, why are you losing respect for me, dude? Like, why are you losing respect for me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, how are you losing respect for me, dude? And like, Jeremiah, why can't you see that's fucking stupid? And honestly, Jeremiah did make a bit of a point, just a little bit, because he was going off by saying like, oh, you guys, the point he was trying to make is that you guys are telling me to explore, and now that I'm exploring, now that it's a bad thing. But if I still go with Huda, then that is still the bad thing. But the point Jeremiah is missing here is not that it's not because you are exploring, or it's not because you are not giving Huda any attention. It's because your mask is slipping and people are kind of catching on to that, and you are not checking in on Huda at all. Mind you, he has not checked in on Huda for maybe like 30 minutes of maybe the whole day. The whole day last night when she was crying, and now this is a different day. We are in the middle of the day. We are in 12 hours of the day, and Jeremiah is still not checking in on Huda. He doesn't realize that his mask is fucking slipping, and he does not know how to act his ass off properly at all. Jeremiah is a bad actor. I want people to see this, because he was questioning that and still didn't realize that it's still wrong for you not to check in on Huda after the fact. He trying to make it about him. Huda was about to get sent home, honey. I would have loved her to get sent home, but we're not talking about that right now. Jeremiah, baby, you don't know how to act. You're a bad actor. You're a horrible actor, honestly. Just take notes from Aaron. Take notes from Aaron from last season. But anywho, that happens. I respect Nick for that, and Huda is then listening to the boys' conversation. This where shit get hefty. I don't know really what triggered her to say some of these things. I do, but like I forgot what Jeremiah actually said. Basically, Jeremiah was just like, I want to explore Iris. She on the fuck off, and Huda says, by all means, explore. That's what she says. She yells that out loud. She listens. She walks to to let the boys know, hey, I'm here. I just listened to your convo, and she says, by all means, explore, and also says fuck you to Jeremiah after listening to the convo and flicks him off. T. Very much T. I literally put through. I'm going to put everything in the video, but yeah, T. Then Huda yells across the villa and calls Jeremiah a fucking bitch. And she is very emotional right now. She's livid. This is the crash out. This is the crash out that we're seeing by Huda that is making us look at Huda very differently, because the way she's acting this episode was very kind of scary-ish. And Huda calls Jeremiah a P-word ass bitch. Oh my gosh. Huda tries to pull Iris for a chat. Where stuff gets a little like, this is what I mean when I say the signs are there, guys. So when Iris and Huda are trying to go in for a chat, Pepe and Jalen and Iris are already up there. Iris doesn't want to go down there because she's kind of essentially maybe afraid of the drama or the confrontation that Huda is bringing, and all the screaming and the yelling, because everybody could hear Huda crashing out, and Iris does not want to deal with that at all. But Huda ends up going to Iris anyway, and this is where it gets a little because even Pepe, I want you guys to beat this, because when Huda is pulling in Iris for the chat, Pepe is essentially like a little afraid, because Pepe is like, because he says that he wants to stay up there because he does not know if Huda is going to touch Iris or hit her, or there's some type of thing going on. And I get it. Pepe is a little afraid. Jalen wants to go down stairs because he's like, hey, that's not our business. They need a chat. Just put them in for a chat. And this is where I said people are kind of starting to realize Huda is kind of she's like an explosion. She's like a TNT from Minecraft. You hit it one time, sounds wrong, but no, seriously, if you hit the TNT one time, it blows up. She's kind of like that. But instead of hitting, if you tell her these things, she's going to blow the fuck up. She's going to blow it out of proportion. She's going to cry, get emotional. Emotional breakdown leads to so much other things. Yeah. Pepe peeps that. He still goes downstairs. And that's the second, third instance of everybody kind of being scared of Huda. And I wrote down, Iris tells Huda that Jeremiah is open to exploring other connections. Huda calls Jeremiah a bitch once again. Huda's not dealing with the bullshit no more. Iris says Jeremiah didn't really talk about Huda on the date other than it being a stressful situation. Huda's dream date was sitting on the beach. Iris giving Huda advice saying don't waste your tears, and the girls are trying to comfort her while giving her advice, and Huda is emotional and still crying / weeping / breakdown. Child, we are witnessing her mental health crashing. That's what we are witnessing in this complete episode, is her mental health crashing. I don't know how she was before, honestly, so I'm not gonna say anything of how she was before. But I will say though, her mental health is going to be worse after all of this when she goes back on her phone. That's what I will say. So, night in the villa. This is the final segment. Huda calls Iris weird for whatever reason. I don't know why. Like, they're getting ready and Huda just calls Iris weird, sneaky, and mocks her for being a girl's girl and saying no the fuck she's not. And this is where I just cannot feel bad for Huda sometimes, because it's like, I know that people can do too much with Huda and people in Love Island, period, because this is Love Island, y'all. Like, but at the end of the day, you calling another woman a bitch multiple times, and even with Iris, because this is why I can respect Iris so much, because she, even after Huda called her a bitch to her face and all of that, being very nasty towards Iris, Iris still ended up giving Huda advice and saying, do not waste your tears on this man. Was still giving her emotional support right then and there. And Huda still ends up calling Iris weird, sneaky, and mocks her for being a girl's girl. The call is coming from inside the house. Huda, baby, you are not the girl's girl. You are not the girl's girl. This is why I said, when women say they are girl's girl, I have to be very cautious of what they think is girl's girls, because every woman has very different, you know what I'm saying, very different definition of what being a girl's girl is. Huda thinks that being a girl's girl is telling you delusional lies up into your face to the point where they have to walk on eggshells to talk to you. That's what Huda thinks girl's girl is, but that's not being a girl's girl. You just want somebody who's not straight up with you. That is the reason why she didn't really apologize to Olandria when that whole thing happened. And Huda, you are so weird for calling Iris sneaky. She just tried to help you, and now you're calling her sneaky and not a girl's girl and mocking her. Huda, I don't feel bad for you at all. Iris, you are a very nice and sweet girl. I understand why she does not want no smoke, no nut, no problems with Huda. It's not even, I'm making it seem like she's fucking afraid of Huda. I don't think she's afraid of another grown ass woman, but I do think Iris just a nice person. Like, she just doesn't want confrontation and drama, and that's okay. Like, she doesn't have to fucking pop the fuck off. This is not baddies. This is not bad girls club. This is not any of that. There's no reason why the girls should be putting each other's hands on each other. But I do agree that I do feel like if Iris were to like hit the fuck out of Huda, I wouldn't blame her. Huda's been provoking her from the fucking start, calling her a bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Dude. Hey, if Iris were to go the fuck off, props to you. But Iris is just not that type of girl to go off. So period, props to her for not trying to do all that. So we're going to Jeremiah, and he's like weirded out with how Huda called her a bitch, and Nic says to Jeremiah Jeremiah is actually focused on the fucking friendship more than Huda. Another sign of Jeremiah's mask fading. And Nic says to Jeremiah he's still his dad. He's like you're still my dad, Jeremiah. You're still my dad. He literally smirks like that. I'll put it in, but like, what are you talking about, dude? Okay. Anyways, Hannah views Pepe very differently. She thinks he's cool. Whatever. Austin feels like he betrayed Taylor with the vote. Taylor says it's okay. And that's the night in the villa. And we're going on to now the end of the segment, Jeremiah and the Huda chat. Jeremiah apologizes to Huda. Huda says Jeremiah plays victim and is selfish and has patterns of this. Huda says Jeremiah doesn't care about Huda says Jeremiah doesn't care about her, and Huda yells, is screaming, and Jeremiah says time the fuck out multiple times because it feels like Huda is kind of interrupting him and not letting Jeremiah speak. Huda blames Jeremiah for her actions and says, you are the reason I was that way. And honestly, okay. So I'm going to give my final thoughts on this specific segment, and I don't know what to say about it. I don't think there's a team Jeremiah, and I also don't think there's a team Huda here. I see people on Twitter debating and saying, I'm team Jeremiah, I'm team Huda. I'm not team anybody. These people, both of these people are very emotionally manipulative in some kind of capacity. And for me, I just think Jeremiah, again, is a little kid inside a grown-ass man body. And he's a love bomber, he's manipulative, and that's really all I can say about Jeremiah. Like, you knew what it was when you picked her and you weren't playing the game at all. You didn't know how to play the game. Your mask is now slipping and you don't know how to manipulate the situation anymore. So now you're going on to Iris. Now, do I think he's like maybe feeling Iris a little bit? Yeah, I think he is feeling Iris or is trying to explore a connection with Iris. So I don't think he's trying to win the money. But with Huda, I think now it's just like, I don't know. Really don't know what to say with Jeremiah. Last episode, he did say he likes that toxic shit that happens with him and Huda, and I have no words for that. I don't fuck with grown ass people saying that they love a toxic ass relationship. That is the biggest red flag. What do you mean you like being toxic? You are 22, 23, 24. You're in your 20s, bitch. What do you mean you like that toxic shit? Get the fuck over it. Move on from your past and heal. That's what you need to do, Jeremiah. That's what the fuck you need to do. Because you say you love that toxic shit. You're weird. You're fucking weird. And Huda's very weird as well. Because at the end of the day, whether this was Jeremiah or anybody else, she was afraid to tell her child to him for the first episode. And baby, if a man had, I don't give a fuck, it was 3 days later, you tell me right then and there so I can move the fuck on and not waste my time. Huda wasted her own damn time. Huda wasted Jeremiah's time. Jeremiah wasted his own time. So let me not say that, but Huda wasted her own time. And I really don't care for Huda crying and doing all these things. And I do think the hate can get a little bit, just a little like, you know what I'm saying? People can always go too far on the internet, but again, hate is very different from criticism. So people saying that we hate Huda, I don't hate Huda. I just think she needed to go. At that point, we tried to let her leave. We tried not even let her leave. We tried to vote her off. She was not voted off, so it's like, what more can we do about this situation? Huda is Huda at the end of the day. I did like how she was standing on business, but I also did not like how she was just blaming Jeremiah for her actions, saying, you are the reason I was that way, and trying to basically victimize herself. I think I think one thing I can say though, it's not 100%. Like, sometimes there's no perfect victim. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Huda is the perfect victim. But I also think she is a victim in some capacities. But it is her duty and her responsibility as a grown ass woman to realize her actions and take accountability on how she was so stuck on Jeremiah the first 4 days. She was also very manipulative towards Jeremiah. Jeremiah was also manipulative towards her. But at the end of the day, you trying to say you are the reason I was that way. No, you are the reason why you were that way because of your actions, Huda. It wasn't Jeremiah's. Maybe it was just for a little bit, but you knew what this was when you came here as a single mother. You cannot do that and then expect Jeremiah to act this whole, like, this perfect way and stuff, like this groovy type of way, and then also de- deflect his feelings because that's what she was doing. Even with that whole, like, do you want to shower together? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? When Jeremiah was telling his feelings about how he didn't like um how Huda was babying him, Huda then proceeds to say, "Do you want to shower together? Are you trying to bribe this nigga with sex? What are you doing?" Like, Huda, you need to take accountability for your own actions. Yes, Jeremiah is a dickhead, but you are also a dickhead. No offense. I'm not hating, just critiquing people's actions on here. I don't care. People can say what they say because a lot of people are gonna like misconstrue my words and be like, "You hate her. You hate." I don't hate anybody on this show. I'm here for the drama. Yes, they're good TV. Yes, but at some point, when are we going to say that she needs to be voted off and he needs to be voted off too? I don't care. These are people's mental health at the end of the day. And honestly, she needs help. She needs therapy. Huda just needs therapy. Jeremiah, he needs help too. Like but Huda needs way more because it's scary of how she was so attached to him on the first day. So imagine the real world. Imagine the real world. Huda, you need help, mental therapy help, whatever the case may be. And I'm not even saying that to be like rude or anything, but there has been this thing where on Love Island, people who get so much hate on the internet will actively kill themselves and commit suicide. I don't want Huda to do that at all. So I do, and people think like you don't care about people or like you have to like a person to care about them. No, I don't like Huda, but that doesn't mean I don't care about her well-being and how she is emotionally and mentally. I care about her mentally and I want her to succeed mentally. It's honestly scary of how she is acting and I don't like, and it's also scary from looking at the other islanders' perspective. Even Pepe, even Pepe was like kind of weirded out or disturbed about it might actually that conversation with Iris and Huda would have gone to because of how she was yelling down there. The girls don't even barely want to say anything to Huda because they think she's gonna stow off on her because she has such a toxic, destructive personality. So it's like anything that contradicts her views, she's just gonna pop the fuck off. I can't deal with that, guys. Like, people are saying that she needs to go to Casa or we're waiting for the crash out at Casa. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was on that bandwagon where I was like, we should bring her to Casa. But no, I'm gonna be honest, she doesn't deserve to go to Casa. The only people who were deserving to go to Casa was PBG, maybe Nicole, maybe Kaylor. Yeah, maybe, yeah, Kaylor kind of. But like, even then, people are deserving to go to that Casa scene. I don't think Huda is, no. Huda's not, if she's not ready for this, she wouldn't be ready for Casa. And that's to be honest, and I don't really agree anymore with her, with people saying that I can't wait till Casa. She's not even gonna make it to Casa, guys. She's not gonna make it to Casa. No offense, she's not gonna make it. She's not. I'm not gonna allow that. I'm not gonna allow that to happen. Like, no, she needs to go home for her mental health and she needs to go home to her baby and her kid. Love Island was the last place to go to as a single mother, and I can say that proudly that she needs help. She needs help. I care about her mental health. I do not like her as, as far as the show goes, but she needs mental health. You cannot blame another person for your actions sometimes. I get it, Jeremiah was very manipulative, but at the end of the day, you were too. And that is the end of the episode. And the narrator says, a new couple comes knocking. So, recoupling is about to start next episode. And wow, that was a roller coaster of an episode. I loved it. I loved every single bit of it. Wow, great TV. It's coming back, but also for the same time, we are actively witnessing something that is very disturbing. I don't know what to say about Huda anymore. She shows her actions time and time again, and people try to give her the pass, and people try to say, well, producers are making her seem like a villain, and well, she's kind of justified for doing that. How would y'all feel if y'all man got took on day one? That is not her man. That is not her nigga. That is not her man. She's not in a relationship. So please stop saying that. And the producers are not making her out to be anything. She is making herself to be like that. People love to blame stuff on the producers, but no, she is not Leah. So don't compare this to Leah. Leah was actually a cool, chill, nice girl who was kind of like manipulated with the cameras and stuff and the editing. Huda is saying these things in real time, calling Iris a bitch, being nasty to the girls, calling her sneaky and not a girl's girl, while also calling Amaya emotional as fuck and being fake as fuck to Amaya and forcing the sisterhood. She is the reason by her own actions. So stop holding other people accountable for what she does. She is a grown ass woman at the end of the day. She knows what she's doing. And also, please do not take this video as hate. I'm not trying to hate on anyone. I'm just critiquing. At the end of the day, I do feel like there is a underlining difference between hating and criticizing and going way too far. And people do go way too far into people's personal lives. So please do not go out there and try to spam to Huda's baby daddy about like certain shit that you just don't know about. We don't know this girl's past, but obviously she's had some type of like bad past with other people. But that's not our place to look into that. Our place is just to critique, watch the show, give our opinions, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But I also don't want people to just be like, oh, you guys are hating on Huda. No, I see a large amount of critique, but I do think, Huda, you have to have a support system. That's all I can say, because Huda's baby daddy just came out and said something about it, and I'm just like, yeah. Huda, yeah. She just needs to take accountability, that's all it is. And Jeremiah also needs to take accountability too when he gets out of the villa, and that's all I can say about that. But amazing episode. T, chef's kiss. This is the longest video I've ever fucking filmed, honestly, and hopefully it goes through once I click this end button. But bye, everybody.